Hello, my name's Christy Alberg, and I teach sophomore English here at Lake Oswego High School. And times have certainly changed. When I started teaching, which was a long time ago, over 30 years ago, we didn't have fancy things like this iPad that I'm recording on today, and we didn't have the internet yet, if you can believe that. In fact, we didn't even have email, and we didn't enter our grades on the computer. We actually used calculators as we added up those numbers. And so through the years, technology has definitely changed the way that we teach, and given us so many opportunities. But I never thought that this point in my career I would be online teaching full time. So this has been a major surprise, and a surprise for all of our students too, I'm sure. And it has challenges, but looking for the best, and going to do some interesting things here. And so far, so good. So we're 3 weeks into the semester, and I've really been having fun getting to know your kids. And one of the things I love the very most about teaching is the energy that I get from kids. And in the classroom, it's so easy to feel this. I talk to the kids, I tell them stories, and they'll laugh in response, or I will make them answer me. So I'll say like, okay, you guys excited for this project? And one kid will go, yeah. And I'll go, come on, come on. And then when everyone goes, yeah, we're ready, even though they don't mean it, but they're playing along. And it's really hard to do that in this medium that we're using right now. However, I'm working hard to get the kids involved, and I really feel like it's a big part of my job right now to try to make my classroom, my virtual classroom, an inviting place for kids to come. And so every day I start with a little bit of music in my class, and try to greet everybody as he or she joins our Zoom meeting, and just try to make this a place where they know that they are welcome and I'm happy to see them. And one of the things I ask them to do is when I greet them in the morning and I say, good morning, everybody, I ask them to press that little space bar so that they are not muted anymore. And then they say, good morning, Mrs. Alberg. And so it's little things like that that I'm doing to try to hear their voices, because I really miss that in the classroom, that personal reaction, and just being able to look over at a kid and say something and get a response. And certainly I'm calling on kids during our class discussions, but it's definitely a different world. But I do want you to know that I'm working hard to try to make it still feel like a warm, inviting place. And in fact, on Fridays, we always have Fun Friday, and I work in some little games where we review some of the things that we've worked on during the week. And I would try to do some social activities in the breakout groups so that kids can get to know each other. And this is, of course, is in addition to all of the curriculum that we're doing. And right now we're in a mythology unit. We started out the year with fairy tales, and we've looked at creation myths and destruction and flood myths. And we're moving on this week into Greek mythology. And so doing lots of fun and interesting things, but I'm also trying really hard to make this a welcoming place and inviting the kids in. We also are spending some time during class, and pretty much every day students are with me for the full 75 minutes. But sometimes I have them close the lid of their computer and work on something else to try to get that non-screen time. So for example, every period we take 10 minutes. It's just silent reading time with a book that they have from home. And I can't actually see them reading because I'm asking them to close that lid of their screen. But I'm hoping that they are still actually reading. And so far they're saying that that's going well for them. But it's also a really good preparation for just getting their mind calmed and focused for English. And so we do that. Then sometimes we'll start an assignment in class, like we'll be writing a paragraph, and I'll have them just close that lid, not turn off their video, but just close the lid part way so that they don't feel like people are staring at them. And then they will maybe write the first rough draft of their paragraph, and then later they'll type that up. So I'm trying to work in some non-screen time as well, even though they're with me and they can hear me when I call them back to class and so on. And so I'm trying to simulate that classroom experience as much as possible. A couple of things that I wanted to tell you briefly about. We are partners, of course, and so if you are looking for ways that you can help support your son or daughter or check on how they're doing, I wanted to tell you about two things, and one of them is this HyperDoc that I post every week. And I know a lot of you are big computer people and know exactly what a HyperDoc is, but I'm pretty new to HyperDocs, so I'll explain that if there's anyone who's in the same confusion, the same mystery about technology that I sometimes find myself in. But in the lower left-hand corner of this screen, you can see a picture of one of my HyperDocs, and that's just a picture. It's not really a HyperDoc, and so there are no links that you can actually click on there that works. But a HyperDoc, this is a picture of one of my actual HyperDocs. A HyperDoc has places that you can click directly on the screen, and then that takes you to another location. So in the pink picture that I have in that lower left hand corner, you can see I have the 5 days of the week. So in the real HyperDoc, if you click on the Monday, then that will take you to another screen like this, and it'll have all the activities that we're doing for Monday. And so then, like for the warm-up activity, if you click on that warm-up activity, you'll know what we're doing for that. But perhaps more important for you is the last little button on each of my days of the week that has the homework assignment. And so you can check on what that is, and that can give you a heads up for assignments that are coming up. If we have an essay, for example. And so I just wanted you to be aware of that document because I'm using that every day in class. And so during class, during the Zoom meeting, I'll bring up that HyperDoc and remind students, okay, here's the HyperDoc, we're on Monday, so here's what we're doing today. And then as we're working along, I'll click one of those buttons and be like, here's the reading that we're working on now. And so then students they can split their screen so that they've got the Zoom meeting going, and then they can access whatever this document is that we're working on. And so that item, the HyperDoc, I update that every day, and I'll have a different one for each week. And so on Monday, not all the links throughout the week are available, but all of the Monday links are available. And so I'm helping students figure out how to use that. And I myself am take online classes. I've been taking some French online classes and some German online classes. And I just started a new German class, and the technology is all new and so overwhelming to me. And so I'm constantly reminded through experiences like this that for a lot of my students, it's the same thing, that they can be overwhelmed by this technology. And so I'm constantly talking to kids about, I know that this might be hard for you, so let's walk through it right now. And if you have any questions, stay after class, or I can meet you later for a Zoom meeting. And so every day between second and third period, they have that long period, over an hour long, where they can meet with me for Zoom meetings, and I can walk them through anything that's going on there. Okay, so that HyperDoc's a really good thing to be aware of. And then one other thing that I'd like you to be aware of is that on Google Classroom, apparently Google Classroom will send you a notification if your son or daughter has not submitted something, which is great. And so I know some of you have asked them about that and then gotten back to me and said, can you confirm that this is turned in or not turned in? But some of them do something really tricky, and that is that they will pretend to submit an assignment. And so they'll hit the submit button, but nothing will be attached to it because they haven't done it yet. And so that I would not always rely on them having everything turned in just because Google Classroom did not send you that notification. So that's just a little heads up. And I'm working hard to update the grades every weekend, so that should be accurate. Hopefully every Monday that the grades are current, so you can check that. But otherwise you can send me an email. Here's my email on the screen. Unfortunately, we are about out of time today, and I'm sorry that I didn't get to meet you in person, but I'm very happy to be working with your kids. got a lovely group of students this year, this quarter anyway. I haven't met my second quarter kids, but my first quarter students are great. So thank you for sending me such lovely kids, and please email me if you have any questions. And I'm sorry I didn't get to actually meet you, but so long. Take care.